Before I start the video, I would like to give a massive shout out to my Patreons who have been supporting my channel. If you would like to check out my Patreon and receive early access to some very exciting videos coming soon, then please click the link in the description below.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nerd Den here once again, and in today's video I will be looking at 5 what-if scenarios in the Doctor Who television history. These scenarios will be based on comments from writers who have worked on the show throughout its 6-year history, which have suggested that audiences were very close to seeing some alternative scenarios taking place. So with that being said, let's get into the video and talk about these alternative scenarios. Number 1. Tennant in Series 5. The first what-if scenario we'll be looking at is when Series 5 of the Revival series featured David Tennant as the Doctor, rather than debuting Matt Smith as the 11th Doctor. According to former showrunner Stephen Moffat, he had prepared a draft version of Series 5 that featured Tennant as the Doctor, which was planned to be his last season. When Russell T Davies announced his departure as showrunner, according to Moffat, Tennant was really unsure about if he was going to stay on for the role. As history shows, Tennant did step down, and audiences were greeted to the lovely Matt Smith, who went on to play an equally iconic incarnation. However, if Tennant did stay on, Stephen Moffat did say that Series 5 would have begun with the 10th Doctor's TARDIS crashing in Amelia's back garden, similar to what we saw in the 11th hour. However, in this alternative version of the episode, Tennant's incarnation was heavily wounded and close to regeneration. Amelia would help the Doctor back into his TARDIS and he would fly off. Later in the episode, she would meet him again, but he would have no recollection of meeting her, which would later be explained as the previous encounter being from the Doctor's future. Now, where have we seen this before? Wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Number 2. The Celestial Toymaker regeneration. During William Hartnell's time on Doctor Who, he got the reputation of being difficult to work with. This was down to illness and voicing his frustration towards management. When John Wiles took over as producer from Verity Lambert, Hartnell refused to work with John, which made tensions on set almost unbearable. This caused John to consider using the serial, The Celestial Toymaker, to write out William Hartnell's incarnation of the Doctor through a very different way, which would have meant that the concept of regeneration would have never existed. In this version of the serial, Hartnell's Doctor would have been turned invisible due to the Toymaker's meddling, and upon returning to his physical form, the Doctor would have been replaced with a different actor. Without the staple of regeneration, how would have future producers recast the Doctor? Number 3. The 9th Doctor in Day of the Doctor. In Day of the Doctor, audiences were greeted to the arrival of the War Doctor, a previously unseen incarnation of the Time Lord played by John Hurt. This incarnation was the one who fought in the Time War and was the one who brought the definitive end to the Time Lords and Daleks, supposedly. During the writing process for the blockbuster 50th anniversary special, former showrunner Stephen Moffat attempted to bring back the 9th Doctor actor Christopher Eccleston for the special to feature alongside fellow Doctor actors David Tennant and Matt Smith. From what we know from this alternative script, Eccleston's inclusion would have been largely similar to what John Hurt's was, but with more references to Eccleston's version of the character. Despite a couple of meetings with Moffat, Chris decided that he did not want to take part, resulting in the creation of the War Doctor. I do wonder what it would have been like seeing the 9th Doctor on screen again. Absolutely fantastic. Number 4. A different end to the 10th Doctor. In the epic 2-part finale for David Tennant's time on Doctor Who, we saw him sacrifice himself to save Donna Noble's grandfather, Wilfred Mott. During this hard-to-watch moment, the Doctor stepped into a radiation chamber and absorbed it all, which triggered the lengthy process of regeneration. However, this wasn't the original idea for the 10th Doctor's demise. He originally had intended for the Doctor to sacrifice his life for a random stranger, but decided to have Wilf play a role in the story to add more of an emotional impact. Plus, it does really tie up the RTD era, doesn't it? Well, that was until the 60th specials were announced anyway. And then for my final pick, number 5, the Daleks in the End of Time. Speaking of the End of Time, there was going to be a big twist that would have certainly changed the show moving forward. And no, I don't mean bringing back the Time Lords or Gallifrey. In an alternative version of the script, it was going to be revealed that during the final days of the Time War, the Time Lords and Daleks would have formed an alliance, which would have resulted in the devious Pepperpots appearing in the episodes. If this were to have happened, it would have changed how viewers had interpreted the Time War and would have had an impact on future Dalek appearances for sure. It wasn't until Russell T Davies spoke to Stephen Moffat and Benjamin Cook that he got rid of this aspect of the plot. Imagine if the Daleks appeared. Maybe this alliance would have been a good idea. There we have it. Those are 5 alternative scenarios which could have taken place that would have definitely had an impact on the history of Doctor Who. If you have enjoyed this video, leave a like rating and subscribe for more nerdy content, as we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers, which I will look to reach by the end of the year. And as well, leave a comment as well. What did you think of these scenarios? And which one was your favourite? And which one are you glad didn't happen? And yeah, I'll see you all next time. Thank you very much for all support, and goodbye for now.